Hi, this is Norberto Arroyo. Please stay tuned for Horses and Courses.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a very busy edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of racing action to bring you from around the country and around the world. A very exciting evening of racing on Saturday at Nat Al Sheba in Dubai. We'll be taking a look at that later on. We're going to begin the racing action down at Gulfstream Park with the running of the Artax Handicap on Saturday. This is an ungraded $100,000 7 furlongs. Let's head down to Florida, the running of the Artax.
They're off. Jersey Giant stumbled just a bit. Weinmeister and Pass Rush quickly into stride. Speightstown through from the inside. Pretty Wild is right with the leader. So is Wacky for Love. And Deer Lake is just in behind as they mix it up out of the chute. Then comes Jersey Giant and Dancing Guy, and the trailer is Fire and Glory. Up the backstretch they run with Pretty Wild and Speightstown. 1-2, they're even at the 5 furlongs. Speightstown moves through and puts half a head in front. Pretty Wild is second by a length and a half from Wacky for Love. Deer Lake is at the rail in 3 from the front. Pass Rush is in the clear. He's 5th with 4 lengths to make up. He's a length in front of Weinmeister. Jersey Giant has 7 to come. Dancing Guy is 9 from the lead, and 8 lengths last to Fire and Glory as they leave the backstretch in the 3rd. Artax Handicap and Speightstown and Pretty Wild have been together since they sprung the latch. Speightstown is now a neck in front. Pretty Wild glued to him at the quarter pole. Wacky for Love is about to range up outside of Deer Lake. Pass Rush has got to go right now. He's 5 off the lead. Weinmeister, Dancing Guy, and Jersey Giant are next, and Speightstown gets away. He's had enough of Pretty Wild, and Speightstown levels out for the final furlong, and he is strong. Speightstown suddenly 4 in front. Pretty Wild is languishing back in second. Wacky for Love is third, but the Artax Handicap goes to Speightstown as he runs away and wins. Speightstown won by 4.5. Desperately close for second between Pretty Wild and Wacky for Love. Dancing Guy finished 4th.
Speightstown, last seen running second in the Jaipur on the turf last year, now at the age of 6. An ungelded horse returning to the races off the layoff for Mr. Pletcher and the Melnicks with a nice effort here, 4.5 lengths the better of Pretty Wild with Wacky for Love back in the 3rd spot. Speightstown was a pretty nice 3-year-old, did struggle with the very best, but always showed some talent, and obviously has had some problems. But a lot of credit to the owner and trainer combination for staying with this horse and bringing him back. Now at the age of 6, Speightstown, a chestnut son of Gone West from Silken Cat by Stormcat, was bred in Kentucky by Aaron and Marie Jones. He is owned by the Melnicks and trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Ibar Koa. Speightstown covers the 7 furlongs at Gulfstream Park in 1:22 flat. We're going to head to Laurel next for one of the few 3-year-old races on the weekend's card. The Private Term Stakes, a $60,000 mile and a 16th. Let's head down to Laurel, the running of the Private Terms.
And they're off. Mohican and Acclimate set off at a good pace into that turn, followed by Eastern Bay and Major Tanner from the inside. Here's Water Cannon, a late running Cryptic Skier in the customary spot in the back of the pack, allowed to settle some 9 lengths off the lead. Round the turn they go, and it's Mohican going solo now. Acclimate trying to rate off that leader second. Major Tanner is third. Eastern Bay is fourth. Here's Water Cannon, the big favorite. Biding Time racing well in hand, and some 6.5 lengths off that lead, and Cryptic Skier is last, some 8 from the front. Mohican going to try to slow it up just a little bit. Got away with a very slow opening quarter at 25 and 2. Nice and relaxed up front is Mohican. Mohican out there. Mohican's relaxing. Mohican by 2. Acclimate second. Major Tanner is third. And Eastern Bay just off the inside in fourth. Now Water Cannon bids up there. Water Cannon still in hand and tugging along fourth. Third outside the gold colors. And Cryptic Skier has a lot cut out for him now with that slow pace up ahead. That's set by Mohican after half in 50 and 1/5 seconds. Past the half, and it's Mohican, and Water Cannon has advanced into second. Acclimate third and Major Tanner fourth. Eastern Bay under a ride in fifth, and Cryptic Skier really has to roll now. 3/8 to go. Let's see if Mohican can get the distance. And Water Cannon just rolled right alongside of him like he was standing still. Water Cannon at the 5/16 mark, and Dominguez sits motionless onto the quarter pole with Water Cannon. Acclimate bids past Mohican to claim second, and Major Tanner, followed by Eastern Bay, is about 6-7 lengths off that leader. Water Cannon, Cryptic Skier is well back, and Water Cannon is let loose for right of the final furlong. and Water Cannon just under a mild hand right out there. We haven't seen the best of this guy yet. His name is Water Cannon, and he's bounding home in the private term stakes, and he's going to win with absolute ease. Water Cannon by 4 on the line. Acclimate second, and Major Tanner was third. Eastern Bay fourth, and Cryptic Skier and Mohican.
Water Cannon and Ramon Dominguez, very impressive here, sat just off the pace after a hesitant start and cruised up to a 3 3/4 length victory as the odds-on choice over Acclimate, with Major Tanner back in the third spot at 22-1. The winner, Water Cannon, a gray or roan gelded son of Waquoit from Crying in the Rain by Baderwood, was bred in Maryland by Mr. and Mrs. Charles McGinnis. Owned by the Non Sequitur stable, trained by Linda Albert, and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. It does appear that his next stop will be a prep for the Preakness. Water Cannon covers the mile and a 16th at Laurel in 1:45 and 2. We're going to head to Oaklawn next for the running of the Carousel Handicap, a $50,000 6 furlongs for older fillies and mares. Let's head down to Hot Springs in the running of the Carousel.
And they're off in the Carousel. And quickly for the lead in the middle of the track, it's Winning Fever. Along the rail, there goes Puffy Shirt to the outside, Surfin' Sand. Donna C right there with See How She Runs. Eternal Cup at the back of the pack as they move down the back stretch. Puffy Shirt leads it ahead, Winning Fever second by 2. Surfin' Sand is third. At the rail, Donna C is fourth, followed by See How She Runs and Eternal Cup. They get past the quarter. 21 seconds flat. Unbelievable. As Puffy Shirt leads it, and now she is being pulled up, and Puffy Shirt has fallen. Winning Fever has the lead. Surfin' Sand is now second, followed by Donna C, See How She Runs, and Eternal Cup. The leader is Winning Fever. A length and a half further back, Surfin' Sand is second. See How She Runs moving up with Eternal Cup, and here they come into the stretch of the Carousel. Winning Fever has got the lead. Surfin' Sand is second. Eternal Cup down the outside with See How She Runs. It's Winning Fever leading it. Surfin' Sand second. Eternal Cup coming on the outside now with a furlong to go. Winning Fever trying to upset the apple cart here. Surfin' Sand is there. Eternal Cup to the outside. Now it's Surfin' Sand. Eternal Cup digging in. Surfin' Sand, Eternal Cup come to the wire. Eternal Cup gets there by a head. Surfin' Sand was second. See How She Runs third.
Eternal Cup and Terry Thompson. This horse has done some pretty nice running at Oaklawn, rallies from far off the pace after showing no early speed, ran very gamely through the drive to pick up the neck victory over Surfin' Sand. See How She Runs, the favorite in the field of 6, finishing in the third spot. Unfortunately, this race was marred by the sharp defection of Puffy Shirt. She was pulled up rather sharply and did fall. Tim Ducey hit the track rather hard. Unfortunately, it was announced afterwards that Puffy Shirt was euthanized as a result of the injuries suffered. The winner, Eternal Cup, a dark bay or brown 4-year-old filly, a daughter of Montbrook from Forever Full by Full Out. She was bred in Florida by Betty King, owned by the Highly Broad Racing Stable, trained by the powerful Steve Asmussen Barn. Ridden to victory by Terry Thompson, Eternal Cup covers the 6 furlongs of Oaklawn's Carousel Handicap in 1:10 and 4. We're going to head southwest a little bit further now. We're going to head to Sunland Park and start things out with the WinStar Sunland Park Oaks, a $200,000 event for 3-year-old fillies going a flat mile on Saturday. Let's head to Sunland and the WinStar Sunland Park Oaks.
And they're off. A perfect start. One of the best away. She's the General with Speedy Falcon and Sky Lady Sky searching for the lead from the outside. Homemaker up in the centre. Over on the rail, Handy early on. Sister Swank as they line up out the stretch, about 5 across the track. Just parked behind America, America. Coax Melody on the inside. 3 lengths to Satine, who's second last in the trailer. Miss Noteworthy, but going out in front, Speedy Falcon. And Speedy Falcon not used up too much, galloping free by 1.5. She's the General second, coming right up the rail. Nicely though under a hold, Sister Swank. On the outside of that pair, Sky Lady Sky, 1 to Homemaker, tucking up nicely America, America, just 3 off the lead, 1 to Coax Melody, trying to get off the rail, racing up on the outside, Miss Noteworthy, and the trailer now 3 behind is Satine. Speedy Falcon tries to take them along by 1.5 in second, Sky Lady Sky. She's the General a second. Sister Swank coming off the inside a little bit, room enough for America, America, and they're bunching right up. Homemaker is on the extreme outside as well with Miss Noteworthy, and many chances as they go go towards the 3/8 pole, and Speedy Falcon kicks away. Speedy Falcon opens up by 3 lengths to Sky Lady Sky. Sister Swank on the inside being niggled out. On the outer, Miss Noteworthy's running on. About 2.5 America. She's the general's dropped out from Homemaker and Satine, but can they catch Speedy Falcon? She sure is speedy at the top of the lane, and Speedy Falcon slips away about 4 in front. Sister Swank in second. On the outside, Sky Lady Sky, but Speedy Falcon a huge lead at the furlong pole, and Speedy Falcon well ahead. Sister Swank and Sky Lady Sky boxing on, but it is Speedy Falcon who has just run them ragged in the Oaks. A huge win, wire to wire, and Speedy Falcon by 6 lengths. Sister Swank second, Sky Lady Sky third, America was fourth.
Speedy Falcon living up to her name with a front-end 6-length romping victory at just under 4-1 over the favored Sister Swank, who gave chase in the early going and had to settle for second. Sky Lady Sky back in the third spot after running 2 wide between horses early, and was just out-finished for the second spot. The winner, Speedy Falcon, a 3-year-old chestnut daughter of Jeblar from Tiny Falcon by Agitate, was bred in Florida by the Farnsworth Farm. Owned by G. Chris Coleman and trained by Henry Dominguez. Ridden to victory by Ricardo Jaime. Speedy Falcon covers the flat mile of the Windstar Sunland Park Oaks in 1:36 and 2. We're going to head back to Sunland next for the Windstar Derby on Sunday. $500,000 for 3-year-olds going 1 1/16, an ungraded race, which when it comes to Kentucky Derby time will probably become a factor. Let's head back down to Sunland and the running of the Windstar Derby.
Away they race in the Windstar Derby, and Starter caught them well. Rocky Gulch, one of the best away, showing speed as expected. Hosco towards the outside has got to the front from Rocky Gulch. On the rail is Victory Light in third, coming up towards the lead. About a half to Consecrate, and on the outside, moving forward deep on the track, is High Tech Man. In the centre, Perfect Moon as they leave the stretch. One away, Spanish Highway, and a little bit of a tight quarter there. On the outside, Teton Forest. The pace is not overly keen. Back second last on the rail is Point of Flight, and the trailer is Go Kitty Go. Hosco travelling nicely. Hosco in front and controlling the race early on. Hosco by 1. Victory Light comes off the inside to apply some pressure. 1 away third, Rocky Gulch. Racing deep, High Tech Man. Coming forward is Consecrate. Between runners, Perfect Moon's about 3 or 4 off the rail. Spanish Highway creeping up on the inside. 1 to Teton Forest, who's parked behind that wall of horses, about 5 off the pace. 3 away, Go Kitty Go is at the rear of affairs with Point of Flight. As they go inside the half mile, and Hosco in front. Victory Light on the outside, travelled well, has gone up to Muscle In on the leader. They're 2.5 in front. Consecrate is third. Rocky Gulch the outside, making a bit of a bid again. High Tech Man around Perfect Moon. Spanish Highway the inside, having the reins thrown at it. Teton Forest. Go Kitty Go starts a run, and last Point of Flight. Down to the quarter pole, and Victory Light and Pat Day went to the front. Coming forward, High Tech Man on the outside. High Tech Man looms as the threat. Rocky Gulch the centre. Hosco the inside. Top of the lane and out wide. High Tech Man joins Victory Light and Rocky Gulch the centre. Trouble for Hosco, then Consecrate. High Tech Man, Rocky Gulch, Victory Light, then Consecrate and Go Kitty Go. High Tech Man in front. Consecrate running on down the outside. High Tech Man by 1. The danger, Consecrate. High Tech Man tackled by Consecrate, but High Tech Man will go in and score a local victory. High Tech Man from Consecrate. Rocky Gulch third, then Victory Light and Go Kitty Go.
High Tech Man pulling off a big upset, making it a very nice and very profitable weekend for Ricardo Jaime. Half a length the better of Consecrate, the favorite in the field, shipping in from the Southern California circuit. For Bob Baffert, Rocky Gulch back in the third spot after being placed forward throughout. He came up a little bit flat at 15-1 in the stretch, but High Tech Man, the big upsetter here at over 46-1. High Tech Man is a chestnut 3-year-old son of Claudius from Missy Cherub by Corwin Bay. He was bred by Hassel R. Sprayberry in Texas, owned by the breeder, trained by Johnny L. Nall, and ridden to victory by Ricardo Jaime. High Tech Man pulls off the big upset in the at Sunland in the Windstar Derby in 1:43 and 1. We're going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Northern California and taking a look at some stakes racing action from Southern California as well. Please stay with us.
NYBreds.com, the online home of Thoroughbred Racing's best incentive program. NYBreds.com features sales and racing news, farm tours, articles by some of racing's top riders, the latest results, plus photos and streaming video of New York bred stakes races.
Here comes Critical Eye, and Critical Eye has won.
NYBreds.com has something for everyone. If racing is your full-time business, you'll want to see the leaders in both owner and breeder awards, and a list of stallion earnings courtesy of the Blood Horse. Racing fans will want to see the latest press releases from both Naira and Finger Lakes, plus contests where you can cast your vote for New York bred divisional champions, or even name a newborn foal. Want to take your interest in racing to the next level? NYBreds.com shows how being an owner or breeder can be both fun and rewarding. Thanks to the New York Breeding and Racing Program. NYBreds.com has it all. That's NYBreds.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to head next to Northern California and the running on Saturday of the Berkeley Breeders' Cup Handicap. A Grade 3 flat mile for older horses running for $125,000. Let's head to Northern California, the running of the Berkeley.
We're ready for the Berkeley Breeders' Cup Handicap, and there they go. Taste of Paradise broke outward. Jets Van is out for the lead with You Gotta Wanna. Taste of Paradise has recovered to force the issue, although he'll be wide at the 7/8. Snorter with a ground-saving trip, and at the back is Gold Ruckus. You Gotta Wanna, he's on the front end under Dennis Carr. It's a lead by about a length in second lay Taste of Paradise. Snorter's all the way up into third, saving ground under Russell Bays. Jets Van and Joey Castro take off the pace, currently fourth. They have about 3 to make up. Gold Ruckus is the trailer, but he's right there to Jets Van's outside. The opening quarter in 22 and 4, 5/8 to travel. You Gotta Wanna under Dennis Carr. They will set the pace. They lead by about a length to Taste of Paradise, and Anthony Lovato, they follow closely from the second position. Snorter holds his ground along the rail under Russell Bays. Gold Ruckus is advancing 3 wide under Kevin Radke, and Joey Castro has Jets Van, 1 from the rail with the green silks. They have 3 to make up, 3 furlongs from home. The half went in 46 seconds. You Gotta Wanna has been in control of the pace throughout. He leads by a length. Taste of Paradise continues to follow. Gold Ruckus is committed to a 3 wide run. He is making up ground rapidly. Snorter will need to find a path to pursue at the top of the lane. He's going to bide his time. The rail might open up for him. Far outside belongs to Jets Van. They're in the lane. In the Grade 3 Berkeley Breeders' Cup Handicap, You Gotta Wanna, confronted by Snorter to the inside. Taste of Paradise 3 wide. Gold Ruckus 4 wide. Jets Van's at the back. Snorter with a strong rail rally under Russell. It's Snorter who gets the lead. Snorter's on his way to the winner's circle in the Berkeley Breeders' Cup Handicap. He outfinishes You Gotta Wanna, Taste of Paradise, Gold Ruckus, and Taste of Paradise.
Snorter, a horse that's familiar to a lot of New York fans, kind of disappointed a lot of people. Always looked like a horse with a lot of possibilities. Now at the age of 4, winning stakes races out in California for Bobby Frankel. Here sits just off the pace in tight quarters and responded with a nice neck victory as the 2-to-1 choice over You Gotta Wanna, with Taste of Paradise back in the 3rd spot. Disappointing in here was Jets Van, who had run a couple of very good races over the winter in Northern California. Never really got into the hunt, finishing 5th and last in the field. The winner, Snorter, a 4-year-old bay son of Awesome Again from Retiro Park by Meadow Lake, was bred in Kentucky by John Toffin and Trudy McCaffrey. He's owned by Gary and Mary West and trained by Bobby Frankel. Ridden to victory by Russell Bays, Snorter covers the flat mile at Golden Gate in a quick 1:33 and 4. We're going to head to Southern California next and begin the action down there with the San Pedro, a $75,000, 6.5 furlong sprint for 3-year-olds. Let's head to Southern California, the call of the San Pedro.
Where they go to a perfect beginning. Stalking Tiger in the centre is very fast. From the outside gate, Straw Pole. Between those two is Wimpelstiltskin. Traffic Update is right there in 4th. And here's Jimmy's Instinct down at the rail. Courageous Act at the back, but only 4 lengths would cover them all. Past the 5/8 they go, and Straw Pole in front 3 parts of a length. Now Stalking Tiger sent along, cuts into that lead. Wimpelstiltskin is a close-up 3rd, and Traffic Update is 4th. Only 3 off the leaders, and Traffic Update moving well. In behind that comes Jimmy's Instinct, and Courageous Act. 5 lengths covers them all. 3/8 of a mile to go. On the inside, it's Stalking Tiger. Had to be used up, but has a narrow advantage. Alongside is Wimpelstiltskin. Traffic Update now coming smartly on the outside. Courageous Act is up to fourth. Jimmy's Instinct down at the rails. Straw Pole did not go on. They come to the top of the lane now. On the inside, it's Stalking Tiger. Traffic Update on the outside. Wimpelstiltskin between them. Then Courageous Act. Jimmy's Instinct not doing enough. They come for home in the San Pedro, and Wimpelstiltskin now takes the advantage. Courageous Act putting in a game run down the centre of the track. Courageous Act, in fact, coming fast at Wimpelstiltskin. Courageous Act gonna get him. Courageous Act got him. Courageous Act up to a neck to Wimpelstiltskin. Stalking Tiger was third.
Courageous Act and Javier Castellano picking up the victory here. Another nice effort by Javier on a Bob Baffert horse. Those two have struck up quite a partnership. Courageous Act unhurried early, ran nicely into the stretch to reel in a series of rivals to win by 3/4 of a length as the third choice in the wagering. Wimpelstiltskin back in the second spot, did get to the lead at the top of the stretch, but was just caught late. Stalking Tiger, involved with the pace early, held on well to finish third. The favorite, Jimmy's Instinct, very disappointing, never getting into the hunt at all. The winner, Courageous Act, a dark bay or brown 3-year-old son of Exploit from East Side, West Side by Eastern Echo, was bred in Kentucky by Bob and Beverly Lewis Thoroughbred Racing, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Lewis. Bob and Beverly, as they're known to a lot of people, even those that don't know them. Trained by Bob Baffert and ridden to victory by Javier Santiago. Courageous Act covers the 6.5 furlongs of the San Pedro in 1:16 flat. We're going to continue with Southern California racing action now with the Santa Ana, a Grade 2 $150,000 turf event for fillies and mares. Let's head back to California, the running of the Santa Ana.
And away they go. Arabic Song broke a little inwards, but broke fast and is going to set off for the lead. Funhouse is on the inside of her. There goes Sweet Chew, one from the rail, and Go On Baby down at the rail. Go On Baby will now take over. Then we drop back to Cat Doggone. Megahertz is racing back second last, and at the back is Mandela, 10 lengths off the leaders. Past the stands first time round, and Go On Baby leads at 3/4 of a length with Sweet Chew in second. Then it's 2.5 back to Funhouse and Arabic Song. Cat Dagon is fifth, 6 lengths off the leaders, and then 2 back to Megahertz and Mandela. They run to the 3/4 pole, and Go On Baby, setting a decent pace for this kind of distance, leads at a length and 3/4. Sweet Chew is in second. Funhouse is nice and relaxed in the third spot. Arabic Song is in fourth. Cat Dagon quite content to amble along in fifth, 4.5 off the leaders. Mandela's moved up closer, and Megahertz is last, but they're now tightly grouped. 5 lengths would cover them all. They go to the half mile in the Santa Ana. And still Go On Baby by a length. Sweet Chew is tracking in the second position, and Funhouse is in third. Arabic Song is fourth. Cat Dagon is now 5 off the leaders. Mandela on the outside, and Megahertz between those two. Into the far turn they go. Go On Baby. Sweet Chew now comes to turn the pressure on from second. Arabic Song and Funhouse are next. Cat Dagon now looking for somewhere to run in the pink. Can Cat Dagon get out? Megahertz meanwhile's gone wide, and Megahertz going to come running. Mandela's last, but tightly grouped. Homeward bound, and Megahertz on the grandstand side. Cat Dagon gets through. Megahertz just shifted in there. Megahertz drifting in onto the inside rail. Here's Cat Dagon now going to come flying late. Megahertz, Cat Dagon, Megahertz keeping her at bay, and the class of Megahertz will pull her through. Megahertz beats Cat Dagon. Funhouse finished up third.
It looked like a huge effort from Megahertz, and it certainly was. Unfortunately, she did end up being disqualified. Placed last in the field of 7. After reaching the lead, she made an abrupt left turn towards the rail under Victor Espinosa, taking out a good percentage of the field as they were tightly bunched heading for home. She ends up placed last. The win goes to Cat Doggone, who has been very, very competitive against nice fillies throughout a long career in California. European import has really barely put a foot wrong, in good company out there. Funhouse moved up to second as Arabic Song, who crossed the line fourth, moves into the third spot. The winner, Cat Doggone, is a 4-year-old British-bred bay filly bred by Mrs. W.H. Gibson Fleming in Great Britain, a daughter of Bahar from Tremp Kate by Trempolino. She is owned by John Kushner, Jim Ford, and Darren Pearson, trained by Jim Cassidy, and ridden to victory by Mike Smith. Cat Doggone covers the 1 1/8 on the firm turf course in 1:47 and 1. We're going to head back to California now for Sunday's running of the Grade 2 Potrero Grande Breeders' Cup Handicap. $200,000, 6.5 furlong sprint for the older horses. Let's head back to California and take a look at the Potrero Grande.
And away they go. Cases Caballo very fast from the outside gate. Unfurl the flag in the green colours. On the inside, here comes Blues the Standard. McCann's Mojave in the gold colours. These four now almost lining up as they run to the 5/8. And at the back, we have Watch 'em Smoky. They run past that 5/8 pole. Blues the Standard at the rail. McCann's Mojave matches stride. Unfurl the flag in the green. Cases Caballo has no option but to go 4 wide, although he is now going to drop in behind that leading trio. And Watch 'em Smoky is last, 4 lengths off them. Into the turn they go, 3 of them in the line. Blues the Standard at the rail. McCann's Mojave between them. On the outside of those two, now going up to take them on. Cases Caballo, unfurl the flag, and coming from last, we have Watch 'em Smoky. A quarter of a mile to go. Oh, 2 horses went down over here. Watch 'em Smoky and Cases Caballo. Cases Caballo, Watch 'em Smoky, both went down. They come into the top of the lane now. Unfurl the flag. Blues the Standard on the outside. McCann's Mojave on the inside. They coming for home. McCann's Mojave now gains the ascendancy. A 16th to run. McCann's Mojave on the outside of McCann's Mojave. Unfurl the flag. McCann's Mojave shifted ground a little but goes on to win it. McCann's Mojave, unfurl the flag. Blues the Standard was third.
Unfortunately, a race marred by an incident here, a couple of them this weekend. Cases Caballo ends up breaking down. He was humanely destroyed on the track. It was a rather ugly incident with Watch 'em Smoky plowing into the fallen horse. Fortunately, he was okay. Apparently, both riders involved were also all right. Meanwhile, McCann's Mojave at 7-1, the second longest shot on the board, ends up picking up the victory. In a bit of a surprise, sat just off the early pace, contesting the pace with Unfurl the Flag. They were able to be the 2 horses in front of the incident with Cases Caballo, and fortunately a relatively short field, so less likelihood for serious injury, as Cases Caballo was running 4th in the field of 5 when he did suffer his fatal injury. The winner, McCann's Mojave, a bay 4-year-old son of Memo from Joni U. Bar by Nordic Prince, was bred in California by Alex Nicky Hunt and Mike Willman, owned by the breeders and trained by Leonard Dorfman. Ridden to victory in the Potrero Breeders' Cup Handicap by Jose Valdivia Jr., McCann's Mojave covers the 6.5 furlongs in 1:15 and 3. We're going to head back to New York now. 1 stakes race on the docket at the Big A, the Distaff Breeders' Cup Handicap, a Grade 2, $150,000, 7 furlongs for older fillies. Let's head down to New York and the short field of the Distaff.
And they're off. And Randaroo breaks right on top. Randaroo to the front. Kiramoya, Storm Flag Flying, and Fit Performer all heads apart as they move up the back stretch. It's Randaroo with the early lead. She's in front by a half length. Storm Flag Flying is in between horses. Kiramoya is right there, and Fit Performer just 3 lengths separating the field as they continue up the back stretch. And Randaroo ran the first quarter in 22 4/5 seconds. Storm Flag Flying to her inside, racing in second. Kiramoya is third, and Fit Performer the trailer. Randaroo now gets away to lead by 2 lengths. Kiramoya takes second with Storm Flag Flying on the inside and third, and then Fit Performer. Midway on the turn, and it's Randaroo in front by a half length. The half mile was running 46-1. Randaroo setting the pace and maintaining the lead as they come for the top of the stretch. Storm Flag Flying is under the whip. Randaroo is in front, then Kiramoya in second. Storm Flag Flying and Fit Performer. Randaroo looking to go wire to wire in the Distaff, and she's got a 3.5 length lead. Kiramoya in second. Storm Flag Flying will do no better than third today as Randaroo, the odds-on favorite, rolls home here. Randaroo, a 5-length winner. Then Kiramoya and Storm Flag Flying.
Randaroo simply romping here, showing good speed under a hand ride, winning with much left, 3.5 the lengths the better of Kiramoya at 23-1. Storm Flag Flying She dropped back on the turn, had absolutely nothing to offer when Edgar Prado asked her, ran a rather dull performance here, and I would not be terribly surprised, although I've not heard anything or seen anything in print to indicate that she will be retired, but I would not be terribly surprised with her breeding if we don't see her arriving in the breeding shed at some point in the very near future. Meanwhile, Randaroo has simply been on a tear since arriving in Kieran McLaughlin's barn. Her only loss came in the La Brea at California behind the very, very good Island Fashion. Randaroo is a 4-year-old bay daughter of Gold Case from Validated by Valid Appeal. She was bred in Kentucky by Dennis Drays and owned by Joe Allen, Mr. Joseph Allen, trained by Kieran McLaughlin, and ridden to victory by Richie Migliore. Randaroo covers the 7 furlongs at Aqueduct in 1:22 and 3. We're going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we've got a very exciting evening's worth of stakes racing action from Nad Al Sheba in Dubai. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. Since 1982, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope for those in need, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. Yesterday's innovative concepts, combining the TRF's rescue mission with educational and rehabilitation goals, have become today's life-saving success stories and a track record of unsurpassed growth. Safely retired thoroughbreds are now enjoying second careers, bringing responsibility, healing, and purpose to the lives of those who need it most. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with a very exciting evening in Dubai at Nad Al Sheba on Saturday evening. I have to say, editorializing for a moment, that I think it was probably the most exciting series of races that they have held. Every race yielding a very nice stretch run, some really exciting action at the finish, and obviously culminating with a very, very impressive performance by both the winner and the runner-up in the Dubai World Cup. We're going to begin the action in the Godolphin Mile, a Group 2 $1 million mile on the main track. Let's head to Nad Al Sheba and the running of the Godolphin Mile.
You're ready. Gates fly. They're racing in the Godolphin Mile. Excessive Pleasure slow to move. Missed it 3/4 of a length. Estamra and During left the machine quickly. Conflict began well. Excessive Pleasure drives up along the fence on the inside of Firebreak. A half length away, Tropical Star, followed by Innamorato, Jerry Biggins and Dan Jew, and immediately dropped out to the tail of the field. During claims the aluminium, and at the 1200 metres mark, During is the leader, narrowly from Estamra on the outside. They stride along a length and a half clear of Excessive Pleasure on the inside of Conflict. Firebreak is fifth, followed by Tropical Star. A length away, Innamorato on the inside of Jerry Biggins, and Dan Jew, having his first run on dirt today, is 4 lengths away at the tail of the field. Estamra and During, they're eyeballing, 800 metres left to go. Firebreak strides up to third, breathing down the neck of those leaders. Tropical Star is fourth, then Conflict, followed by Excessive Pleasure. Jerry Biggins out wide, further back Innamorato, and Dan Jew is the last to turn in the Godolphin Mile. Estamra put his grey head in front. During, the first to crack. Firebreak a half length away, going after that leader. Then Conflict and Tropical Star, but Frankie drives Firebreak to the lead. 350 metres left to go, and the hope of Godolphin surges to the front of the Godolphin Mile. Race 2 lengths clear of Tropical Star. Estamra, Conflict on the outside, but it's Firebreak in front. 100 metres left to go. Tropical Star runs to second. Estamra and Excessive Pleasure battle out third. The Godolphin Mile belongs to Godolphin. Firebreak beat Tropical Star. Excessive Pleasure third. Then Estamra, Innamorato, During, not today. Conflict, Jerry Biggins, and Dan Jew.
For the second time in a row, Firebreak picks up the victory in the Godolphin Mile for Team Godolphin. He obviously likes this track. I would love to see this guy come to the United States. Going a mile on the dirt seems to suit him very nicely, and obviously he's not had much of a chance to do that, as he has been based overseas for Godolphin throughout his career. Tropical Star ran a solid effort to finish in the second spot, another horse that seems to like the track. Excessive Pleasure, an American shipper, running in the third spot. The winner, Firebreak, is a 5-year-old bay horse, the son of Charnwood Forest from Breakaway by Song. Bred in Great Britain by R.P. Williams, owned by Godolphin and trained by Saeed bin Surur. Ridden to victory by the very expressive Lanfranco de Torre. Firebreak covers the mile of the Godolphin Mile in 1:35 and 4. We're going to continue with stakes racing action from Nad El Sheba with the UAE Derby. It's been changed a little bit this year. It's back to a 9-furlong event. It is a Group 2, $2 million event. Let's head back to Nad El Sheba, the running of the UAE Derby.
Ready. Set for action. They're racing in the Derby and great exhibition on the fence, just a little slow to go. Lundy's Liability left the machine very quickly and Petit Paris is rushing forward after the start. Little Jim is third, Tamarillo fourth, followed by Great Exhibition going forward on the fence on the inside of Jack Sullivan, who had to ease out of trouble. Ascertained in the middle, Medhuba wide. Tamarillo goes around the outside and Festive Style, one of the fillies, drops out to the tail of the field as they make their way past the 1,400 metres or 7 furlongs mark. Petit Paris the leader by a little more than a length. Little Jim is second. Lundy's Liability a half length away, third on the heels of the speed. Tamarillo goes to fourth and then Medhuba on the outside of Ascertain. 3/4 of a length to Jack Sullivan, covering a little extra ground. Festive Style is second last and Great Exhibition on the fence with the field in. Short of 1,000 metres left to travel in the Derby. Petit Paris trying to lead most of the way, 3/4 of a length in front. The former Argentinian Little Jim has that leader in his sights. Lundy's Liability third, Tamarillo fourth as they approach the corner. Medhuba being ridden on the fence, then Jack Sullivan, Ascertain. Great Exhibition and Festive Style is the last to sweep for home. 600 metres left to run in the UAE Derby, and Little Jim lays down the gauntlet to Petit Paris. Little Jim and Ted Durkin take the lead in the Derby. Petit Paris under pressure. Lundy's Liability, the South African, runs to third. Then Tamarillo and Jack Sullivan. It's Little Jim just in front. 250 metres left to go. Petit Paris on the fence and Lundy's Liability joins in on the outside. Is it another South African Derby? Lundy's Liability joins Little Jim. Petit Paris on the fence. 3-horse war. Lundy's Liability puts his head in front. Petit Paris goes with him. Can't match him. Lundy's Liability. Lundy's Liability beat Petit Paris. Little Jim third.
Really terrific stretch run here with the three that looked like the most logical contenders duking it out throughout the stretch drive, and it was Lundy's Liability off a nice second place finish against similar company last time here, stepping up his game for trainer Mike DeCock. Not surprisingly, this has been a trainer has just dominated in major racing competition at Nad El Sheba throughout the course of his successful career. Lundy's Liability, a terrific effort to return the tables on Petit Paris with Little Jim, who had run a couple of impressive prep races for this, running in the third spot. The winner is a 4-year-old by Northern Hemisphere standards, a 4-year-old bay colt, by Candy Stripes from Emerald Counter by Geiger Counter. He was bred by the TNT Stud in Brazil. He is owned by TNT Stud and Mrs. M. Slack, trained by Michael DeCock, who has indicated an interest in running some horses here in the United States, and would certainly be interesting to see him do so. Lundy's Liability covers the 1 1/8 of the UAE Derby in 1:50 and 4. We're going to continue now at Nad El Sheba with the Dubai Shima Classic, a $2 million 1.5 mile for older horses on the turf. Let's head back to Dubai and the running of the Shima Classic.
2004. Gates are open, racing, and Rascala near the fence and Luna Sovereign, two of the first away. Royan began well. Warsan in the centre, Polly Summer came out running hard, Buck going forward shortly after the start. Then Del Sarte, Compton, Bolter, Gorilla and Fair Mix, followed by Marteline. Scott's View is second last, and the Turkish horse Grand Equinox had dropped out to the tail of the field as they make their way past the judge the first time and go to the turnout of the straight with 2,000 metres left to go. Warside had crossed onto the rail, they're not going hard. Hardbuck rolls up to second. Rascala third, settling on the heels of the leader. Luna Sovereign is fourth and Fair Mix fifth, but covering extra ground. A length away, Royan in front of Polly Summer. Gorilla trapped down in the bleachers. Then Del Sade pushing through between horses, followed by Compton, Boulder and Marteline. Scott's View on the rail is second last, and Grand Equinox whipped the field in as they travel past the 1,600 metres mark. Warsan the leader, 3/4 of a length in front of the American Hope Hardbuck. Rascala third, given every chance. Fair Mix fourth, still wide around Luna Sovereign. Then Royan on the inside of Polish Summer. Del Sade on the fence on the inside of Gorilla. 3/4 of a length to Compton Boulder. Then Scott's View. Marneline de Grey is second last, and Grand Equinox is 3 lengths away as they start to run down the side. They've gone past the 3/4 of a mile mark. Short of 1,200 metres left to run. Warsan ups the tempo a little, leads by a neck over Hardbuck. Fairmix is third, but has worked from the word go. Rascala fourth, Gorilla fifth at 3 deep. Luna Sovereign poised in the middle. A length away is Polish Summer, followed by Royan. Then came Del Sade, Marneline on the move. Scott's View sticking to the fence from Compton Boulder, and Grand Equinox was still last as they ran past the bushes. 650 metres left to go. Warsan shows the way down the lane for home. Hardbuck only a half length away. Fairmix ridden. Rascala on the rail needs a way out. Frankie about to ask Luna Sovereign to go. Polish Summer on the outside, still travelling well as they reach the 400 metres mark. Warsan is flat as attack. Hardbuck under pressure. Fairmix on the outside. Polish Summer's looming up to them. Gary Stevens hasn't popped the question yet. Hardbuck in front of Warsan. Now Polish Summer comes. Hardbuck gets the lead, but here is Polish Summer. Polish Summer reels in Hardbuck. Hardbuck fights back, but Polish Summer's too good, and Polish Summer beat Hardbuck. Scott's View from near last third. Then Rascala, Warsan, Grand Equinox, Fairmix, Del Sade, Royan, Compton Boulder, followed by Marteline, Luna Sovereign, and Gorilla, a long and distant last.
Polish Summer just making the last best move, and Gary Stevens as still as could be, sitting aboard this horse and waiting, finally making that last move and just outriding John Velasquez aboard Hardbuck to the victory with Scott's View. A little bit of an outsider finishing in the third spot in here. Polish Summer, an old pro at the age of 7, continues to run extremely well and will be heading back to Europe for Andre Fabre and Judmont Farm. Polish Precedent is a 7-year-old son of Polish Summer, a 7-year-old son of Polish Precedent from Hunt the Sun by Rainbow Quest, bred by Judmont, owned by Prince Khaled Abdullah, and trained by Andre Fabre. Ridden to victory by Gary Stevens, the new stable rider for Andre Fabre's barn in France. Polish Summer goes the 1.5 miles on the firm turf in 2:31 flat. We're going to head back to Dubai now and take a look at a race that's always one of the most interesting races of the evening, the Dubai Golden Shaheen, a $2 million 6-furlong event, the richest sprint in the world, and interestingly enough, run on the straightaway dirt course. Let's head back to Dubai and the running of the Golden Shaheen.
Racing in the Mahab El Shamal and Elkie on the outside fence, one of the first to go. Multi Dandy and Dan Turner on the far side began quickly. Cajun Beat came out of the gate running, and Conroy was quickly away. Our new recruit on the grandstand side showing speed with Elkie coming down near the outside rail. They're blazing down the track, and Dan Turner and Multi Dandy are vying for the lead. Cajun Beat with that group. Our new recruit is making a line of 4. Elkie is deeper out, and behind them came Feet So Fast, followed by Conroy. Then Conceal, Minor Select, and State City, last year's winner, had dropped out in the tail of the field as they linked with the course proper. 500 metres left to go, and Sagani on the far side had stormed up. Sagani's gone up to be one of the leaders with our new recruit. Cajun Beat in the centre, Elkie on the near side. A line of 4, Elkie on the grandstand side. Our new recruit, Cajun Beat. It's America, 1, 2, 3, 200 metres left to go. Elkie drifting to the centre, and our new recruit, they beat off Cajun Beat. Conroy coming fast late, but it's our new recruit in front, close to home, and our new recruit will win the Golden Shaheen. Our new recruit beat Elkie, Conroy third, then Cajun Beat, followed by Minor Select and Sagani. A break then to Tour of the Cat, then State City, Conceal, Feet So Fast, Multi Dandy and Dan Turner both showed speed.
This race was really designed for Americans, and it has been dominated by American interests. This time, not the American a lot of people thought. It was our new recruit, John Sadler, sprinter, who's been running very well against top-class sprinters in California. Here gets the job done in a game effort over Alki with Conroy, who held up the start for a few minutes with his antics at the gate. having to settle for third. Coming out of this race, a couple of notes. One, that apparently Cajun Beat was kicked by the lead pony prior to going into the starting gate. The veterinary office there felt that he was okay to run, so they let him go. Our new recruit also exits the race with some cuts on his hind legs that apparently occurred while he was acting up just a little bit while waiting for Conroy to load the gate, but obviously well worth it to pick up the victory in a $2 million sprint. The winner, our new recruit, is a 5-year-old chestnut son of Alphabet Soup from Delta Danielle by Lord Avey. He was bred in Maryland by Thomas Grawl. He is owned by the CRK stable and trained by John Sadler. Ridden to victory by Alex Solis. Our new recruit covers the 6 furlongs on the straightaway course at Nat El Sheba in 1:10.1. Next up, the Dubai Duty Free. As I said, it was an evening of very exciting finishes. This one going to be the closest of the evening, a Group 1 $2 million event at the about distance of 9 furlongs on turf. Let's head back to Nat El Sheba now for the running of the Dubai Duty Free.
Dubai Duty Free field is set. The flag is up. Starter hits the button, pushes it. Racing in the Dubai Duty Free, and right approach dropped back shortly after the break. Bright Sky, the favourite, a little slow to go. Refused to Bend came out quickly. Martillo began well, and Crimson Palace settles third at the end of the first 100 metres. A length away is Sarah Fan, followed by Nair. Evolving Tactics on the rail, and then Surveyor. Paolini on the fence, drifting well back. Checkered going forward. Bright Sky is second last, and right approach after the slow beginning and drop back to the tail of the field as they make the top of the track. Refused to Bend and Kieran McAvoy show the way, travelling to the 1,200 metres mark. Martillo a length and a quarter away second. Crimson Palace third, and joined the run of the race. Sarafan fourth, and now taking closer order, followed by Nair. Evolving Tactics midfield, following the fence on the inside of Surveyor. A length to check it, then Paolini. Bright Sky is second last, and still right approach brought up the rear as they travel down the side of the course in the Dubai Duty Free. Refused to Bend by a little more than a length. Martillo second. Sarafan third, 2 lengths away from the lead. Crimson Palace on the rail. Frankie Dettori has given that mare every chance. Then Nair, who's one away from the fence, followed by Surveyor. Evolving Tactics behind them from Checkered, Paolini, Bright Sky, and right approach last into the straight with 500 metres left to go. Refused to Bend, a half length in front of Martillo. Crimson Palace on the rail, looking for the way out. Nair's gone up to be fourth, followed by Sarafan. Checkered on the fence. Evolving Tactics looking for the way through. Bright Sky still a long way back. Martillo's hit the lead from Nair, 200 metres out. Then Refused to Bend. Paolini and right approach down the outside. Nair in front. Right approach is zooming at the end. Right approach coming hard. Paolini lands. Oh, thriller in the Duty Free. Paolini right approach in a photo. Nair on their heels. Then Martillo, Checkett, Bright Sky, followed by Evolving Tactics. Refused to Bend, Sarafan, and Surveyor.
Paolini and right approach, they couldn't separate them at the wire. It was declared a dead heat after a nervous, tense 10 minutes for all of the connections involved. But 2 terrific efforts by both of these horses. Paolini, who has been an international traveler, we've seen him in North America on a number of occasions. When they put up big purse money, he shows up and often runs well. He is, in fact, now the richest German-bred of all time with this victory. Right approach, another very solid effort. This one a South African-based from, again, Michael de Kock, who has just done so well with every horse that he has sent to Dubai. The 2 winners, Paolini and Right approach. Paolini, a chestnut horse, a 7-year-old son of Lando from Prairie Darling by Stanford, was bred in Germany by his owner, C. Ostermann Richter, trained by Andreas Voller. And the co-winner, Right Approach, a 5-year-old bay horse, a son of Machiavellian from Abbey Strand by Shadid, was bred in Great Britain by Her Royal Highness the Queen, owned by B. Cantor, Mrs. M. Slack, and L. Westwood, trained by Mike de Kock. Dead heat finish in the Dubai Duty Free, which was completed the 1 1/8 about distance in 1:49.1. The big race, of course, on the evening, the Dubai World Cup, 1 1/4 $6 million, the richest race in the world. Let's head back to Dubai in the running of the Dubai World Cup.
We're ready. Looks set. The gates are back, and they're racing in the Dubai World Cup. Silent Deal and King's Boy both came out very awkwardly. Both riders in trouble. They both dropped back to the tail of the field. Fleet Street Dancer, Medaglia d'Oro began well. Grand Hombre cropped out of the machine quickly. Pleasantly Perfect settles on the rail on the inside of Victory Moon. A length away then Admire Don. Domestic Dispute on the rail. Denipa going forward out wide. Followed by State Shadow. 2 lengths to Silent Deal on the inside of Regent Bluff, and King's Boy had dropped out to the tail of the field as they went to the 1,500 metres mark. Fleet Street Dancer is the leader across the top of the Nat Al Sheba track. 3/4 of a length over Medaglia d'Oro, Pleasantly Perfect third. Grand Hombre fourth, and Denipa fifth, and travelling 3 wide. A length and a half to Victory Moon, 3/4 of a length Domestic Dispute. Followed by Admire Don on the inside of State Shadow. 3 lengths to Silent Deal around King's Boy, and Regent Bluff is a further 3 lengths away at the tail of the field as they travel past the 1,000 metres mark. Fleet Street Dancer a half length in front, Medaglia d'Oro second, Pleasantly Perfect third, 2 lengths off the lead, Grand Hombre fourth. Denipa beginning to give ground, then Domestic Dispute followed by Victory Moon. A break to Admire Don, State Shadow, King's Boy. Well back is Silent Deal, and Regent Bluff whip the field in as they turn the corner for the big money. 600 metres left to go, and Jerry Bailey takes Medaglia d'Oro up on the outside of Fleet Street Dancer. Pleasantly Perfect into the clear, is about to launch his claim. Medaglia d'Oro and Pleasantly Perfect, they fuel in Dubai. Pleasantly Perfect, 300 metres out, joins Medaglia d'Oro. Victory Moon gets to third, but it's the big two. It's Pleasantly Perfect and Medaglia d'Oro. They're stride for stride, 150 metres out. The whips are cracking, the hearts are pounding. Pleasantly Perfect puts his head in front. He cracks Medaglia d'Oro. Pleasantly Perfect draws clear, wins the cup. Pleasantly Perfect beat Medaglia d'Oro 3/4 of a length. Victory Moon 4 lengths away third. Then Grand Hombre, King's Boy, Domestic Dispute, Fleet Street Dancer, Admire Don, Regent Bluff, Denipa, State Shadow, and Silent Deal.
Pleasantly Perfect has got to be considered the best 10 furlong horse in training anywhere. This horse just really shows his stuff when allowed to go the distance of ground. No knock on Medaglia d'Oro, whose performance was outstanding. He made the running every step of the way, just could not quite hold off a horse who, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, is just that little bit better when going the 10 furlong distance. Medaglia d'Oro probably at his peak at 9 furlongs. Victory Moon finishing in the 3rd spot. Had won the UAE Derby last year, had run a couple of very impressive races in preparation for this event at Nat Al Sheba, and obviously has run very well on the dirt. In fact, Mike DeCock has indicated that there's a possibility that Victory Moon may end up running in the United States at some point during his career. Pleasantly Perfect now has a 3-race win streak going back to last, or 4-race win streak going back to last year's Goodwood. He returned with a very impressive effort in the San Antonio and has now upped his earnings dramatically with a win in a $6 million event. Pleasantly Perfect is a 6-year-old son of Pleasant Colony from Regal State by Affirmed, bred by the Clovelly Farm, owned by Diamond A Racing, and trained by Richard Mandela. Ridden to victory by Alex Solis, Pleasantly Perfect runs the 2nd fastest Dubai World Cup, just behind Dubai Millennium at 2 minutes and 1/5. That's going to wrap up a very exciting international version of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you'll be able to join us again next week when we'll be bringing a lot more stakes racing action, including a lot of 3-year-old racing action. Hope to see you back there next time. I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.